Right then, this is a quick walk around video on quite a windy day, so I do apologise. This is for a lovely CR-V. This is a 2-litre EX manual, 2013 registered, one owner with a full Honda service history and just 39,000 miles on the clock. Fitted with a load of options, notably the exterior styling pack, these upgraded alloy wheels, high level rear spoiler, thousands of pounds worth, and it looks sensational. Go around the front of the car for you. Lights and lenses are completely clear and intact, and no cracks or condensation on there. And then you can see that deeper front bumper with the silver trim at the bottom. Bonnet of the car, really clean. Can't see any obvious marks, stone chips on there at all. Coming to the near side, passenger side, absolutely smooth in the panels. Can't see any obvious indentations. Sorry, just waiting for the car to go by. But very clean in the panel work. In the back of the car, my favourite angle actually for these CR-Vs, because the sun's not too glary, but you get that spoiler. It's all very subtle, but it just adds up to give the car real substance. Again, all clean and tidy. Offside of the vehicle, as with the near side, very clean indeed. Try and make sure my shadow doesn't get in the way if I can angle the camera correctly. So very clean. And nice to see also Bridgestone tyres all around on the car with plenty of tread on them as well. But that is in lovely condition. Let's come into the boot area, parked in the shade actually, because otherwise it gets very glary inside. A minor miracle to see a CR-V as clean as this in the back, because they're normally used for what they're designed for. This has been given a wonderfully gentle life. Let's come into the back of the car now. Wide opening rear doors, absolutely colossal amount of legroom in the back there. And again, the leatherwork is in beautiful condition. Let's come into the front and the passenger side. Again, all very clean and tidy. Finally coming to the front, driver's door card, again, beautifully clean. Footwell areas likewise. And then driver's seat again is in absolutely super condition there. So inside the car now, as always, the engine's running, so the dash can be seen illuminated. Dashboard looks absolutely beautiful. It's in virtually factory fresh condition there. Sat nav, you can see working absolutely perfectly. Pop the car into reverse. That lovely clear gridded parking camera, again all working exactly as intended. And then to come up to the dash binnacle, pan in there for you. 39,250 miles. No warning lights at all on the dashboard. It is in fantastic condition in here. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key, all here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda CR-V. It's a 2-litre EX manual. This car is registered LJ63MPU, and with a mileage of just 39,242 recorded. The reason for all of our videos, and especially the road test section here, is to ensure that if anyone is looking at any of our advertised cars, they actually get to see them in operation. We, like a lot of people, have been to see plenty of cars which have looked perfectly good in photographs and descriptions, only to get there and find out when you drive them there's a fundamental issue which you would much rather know about before setting off on your trip to go and see it. We also do the videos on these quiet country roads very close to our premises. This actually forms part of the road test route we take our customers on. The reason being that we hopefully then it'd be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car, as you'll know from the walk-around section, it's a quite an exceptional car in lots of ways, not least of which is the ownership of the car. One private chap's had the car from new, had the car serviced all the way through by Honda, right up to the service we've literally just done on the car, and it shows immediately when you drive the car, because it just feels as tight as a drum in every single way. Push button start on the top of the range car here. Car starts immediately and settles to a smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car, and temperature gauge is running as a third, which is exactly where it's meant to be on a Honda vehicle. The engines, I mean, I say over and over again, but it's absolutely true. You know, Honda build the best four-cylinder engines in the world. Not always to do with power or economy or anything else particularly. It's all of it. It's a lovely engine to use. It's quiet, it's smooth, it's civilized. It's got plenty of power whenever you need it. It's economical. It's cam chain driven. There's no cam belts. It's got a reputation for being the longest lasting, most reliable engine in its class, bar none. I mean, it literally ticks every single box. But it is a pleasure to sit behind. The engine note is typical of Honda. You put your foot down, get that kind of lovely induction noise, but as the revs pick up, whereas normal engines start to sound strained and a bit coarse, this just sounds kind of more musical in a way. It's such a sophisticated engine. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I'm sold on them, of course, because my wife's got one exactly the same as this, petrol automatic EX CR-V, so we clearly love them. Engine then feeds through into the clutch and gearbox. Clutch in the car, as you'd expect with the mileage, absolutely perfect. Bite point's exactly where it's meant to be, and it's lovely and smooth in operation as well. Gearbox again is just fantastic. When these were built, you know, the competition were churning out cars which you get in and drive them. It just felt like driving a commercial van by comparison, aside from the odd exception. This, you get in, it just feels so car-like, and the gear change is part of it. It's such a almost sporty gearbox. It's short in throw. It's got a beautiful weighting, oily, mechanical feel to it. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and that feels exactly as it would have done when it was manufactured. Steering of the car tracks dead straight. There's no vibrations at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit. And again, just, you know, continue the car-like theme. It really is. It was way ahead of its time. It's also why the CR-V is the best-selling SUV in the world. Honda know this market brilliantly well, and they judge the cars perfectly. So it's nicely weighted. It feels very positive. Go through the corners, minimal steering movement to go through the corner. It follows absolutely faithfully. It's beautifully done. Suspension of the car works with the steering fantastically well. You know, these cars aren't about handling characteristics. They're more about how they go through corners. You know, do they lollop about if they're too softly sprung? Do they crash and bang if they're too firm? And this sits perfectly in the right place with them. So it's got no sporty pretensions, but it's a nice car. It rewards, it flows through corners brilliantly well. Superb body control for this type of car, it really has. And it also rides very, very comfortably indeed. So I'm just going to swing through here a second. What I'm also listening out for, by the way, these road tests, the whole point of them is that trying to pick up any issues. The road surface here is not dissimilar to that of the moon. It's awful. So if there's any kind of clonking or rattling that's going to come from underneath the car, it'll come out through here, and there's none. It just feels, as I said, just ridiculously tight. It really does. So all spot on there. I'm going to give the brakes a good old shove as well. Make sure no one's directly behind me. And they aren't. Hard enough to get my hazard lights on. Absolutely perfect. What I'm looking for when I hit the brakes at speed is just any kind of pulsing or vibrations coming back through the brake pedal, and there's none at all. They're absolutely perfect. Worth pointing out that the car, after I finish here, is literally going straight to the MOT test station where these things are going to be checked anyway, and the MOTs are always done independently of us. It's finally coming inside the car, in lovely condition again, but a really great place to sit and drive a car. You know, we get blasé about it because, you know, I've got one, my wife's got one, and we sell tons of them. Sorry, car's hurtling down at a rate of knots. That's not 50 miles an hour. Yeah, I mean, it's just a car you get in. You've got a brilliant driving position, multi-adjustable electric seat, fantastic visibility all around, so you feel very confident when you get in the car to drive. And then you've got the dash, which is very, very heavily equipped, but literally after 2 or 3 days driving, everything becomes second nature very quickly indeed. It's very, very nicely designed. It's also a brilliantly put together car. Build quality on these is sensational. I mean, it's now nearly 9 years old, and there isn't a squeak, a rattle from the interior of the car, which is typical of the CR-V. They are beautifully bolted together. Because the problem is that when the motoring press are handed their cars, they're given brand new cars, and most new cars actually feel pretty well assembled. You get very few really badly built cars when they're new. Build quality is not about that initial build; it's about how that build will last over the duration. And some of these premium makes that they laud for their squidgy plastics and heavy sounding doors, ultimately they can feel very, very lightweight, quite rickety by comparison, and creak and groan when you wouldn't realistically expect them to. Sorry, stay there. Sorry, just all sorts going on here. But these are just amazingly well built. Every time you go to turn a knob or press a button, you're greeted with a kind of a lovely, soft, beautifully manufactured button that's going to feel the same in 200,000 miles time, and that's par for the course for them. As you can see, sat-nav working perfectly, dual zone climate control systems. You can have different temperatures side to side, likewise. That blows out absolutely ice cold air, by the way. Heated seats, again, working perfectly there. Dash binnacle in front, beautifully presented, simple, legible, easy to take in dials and information without being overdone, which is the modern way, unfortunately. And then you've got this lovely leather-bound, small diameter steering wheel, which feels absolutely fantastic in hand and looks unmarked. One thing you'll notice there isn't in here is a button for four-wheel drive, even though this is a four-wheel drive car. Because again, Honda in their wisdom worked out that the vast majority of their customers will be doing as I am today, driving in perfectly good conditions where you don't need four-wheel drive on. Because the problem with permanent four-wheel drive is, by definition, it's on the whole time. And if you're going to do that, you're going to get through more fuel, you're going to get through your tyres more quickly, and you're going to put more mechanical stress through the car. So the way it works in this, the car runs in front-wheel drive pretty much the whole time. So if you were pulling away in snow or mud, or going sort of across a sort of muddy field at local fete or something, it works with the traction control. If it senses it slipping, it instantly, and far quicker than you could ever react, brings in the rear wheels seamlessly to give you four-wheel drive. It's absolute genius, it really is. Also, what's lovely about it, the lack of its use also means that it's incredibly reliable. So much so that we've been selling these things for nearly 30 years, or Honda's using this four-wheel drive system, and we've never touched the four-wheel drive system on any of them. So it is robust indeed. As I said at the start of the video, the point, brief as it might be, is literally just to show the car operating and to feedback on any issues, of which, as you'd understand with the ownership and history, there are none at all. The car drives absolutely superbly.